Hello and welcome to my presentation for this week using the ethics problem-solving model. I've chosen to use a dilemma of in public administration of putting your personal beliefs over policy. And I'm going to use a specific example of one that actually did happen and made the news a few years back. In June of 2015, the SCOTUS legalized same-sex marriage across the nation. In July of that same year, there was a county clerk in the state of Kentucky who put her own personal beliefs over the policy or the law in this case and refused to issue same-sex marriage licenses as she believed it went against her religious beliefs and violated her First Amendment right, which protected her religious beliefs. On a side note, she later further violated the law by removing her name from the licenses when she was forced to issue the licenses. The stakeholders in this situation would be the county clerk, the deputy clerks that worked in that office, the citizens of that county, and particularly the same-sex couples, as well as the governor of Kentucky and also the state and federal courts, because this went all the way to the top, and it started with the U.S. Supreme Court. The role of the county clerk is to implement or put into action the law or policy that was passed. The county clerk's job is to ensure that applicants meet the state requirements for marriage and issue a license if they do meet the requirements. The expectation of the county clerk is to abide by and uphold the laws regardless of their personal beliefs. Now, as we analyze it with using some ethical theories, I first want to look at the contractarianism theory. And essentially, that is that we, as the people, do have a contract with our government or with each other to abide by the laws that are set forth and to honor the rulings of SCOTUS as they are the highest and final authority in the country. Additionally, if we look at the utilitarian theory, we need to balance out our actions, or our actions are going to be judged by the consequences of what those actions produce. And most importantly, especially as a PA, we need to be considering what action that we take that would produce the greatest good for the greatest number of people. So in a case like this, or in this case particularly, putting our own interests or our own, even if you say religious beliefs of one single person above all of the people, all of the other stakeholders involved, then you most certainly are not taking an action that produces the greatest good for the greatest number. You're taking an action that produces good only for yourself. The options that I see in a situation such as this would be to not issue marriage licenses to any same-sex applicants, which is the action that this particular clerk chose to take. Then another possible option is to remove your name from the marriage licenses. In the state of Kentucky, state law requires that the county clerk's name actually be on each marriage license. And again, in this case, this particular clerk did remove her name from the marriage licenses, which was also another violation of law. Another option would be simply to resign. If you felt strongly enough about your moral, or I should say religious beliefs, and that it violated them, and that you felt like you were not able to fulfill your duty or your role in the organization as the county clerk, then simply resign. There certainly were at least one other county clerk in another state, I believe it was in Texas, that did exactly that. Another option is to stop issuing all marriage licenses. Again, there was another county clerk in, I believe it was the state of Alabama, that instead of discriminating just against same-sex applicants, this person felt strongly about the issue as well, but in the light of being fair towards all, they stopped issuing all marriage licenses to any applicants until the matter could be resolved, which leads to the next alternative, which would be to seek protections of your religious beliefs or alternatives to how this particular policy or law was to be enacted and carried out, to seek those alternatives through the proper channels, not taking them on your own and discriminating against people. And of course, the last option is to simply do your duty, do the job that you took an oath to do and to uphold the law. This is putting your, obviously in the end, the final analysis is you're putting your personal beliefs over the policy, or in this case, putting your personal beliefs over the law of the land. Then you're only serving your own interest, not those of the people that you're intended to serve. So not only are you violating the contract with the people and with the government, you're also not producing the greatest good for the greatest number of people. And in the end, the consequence of your action are to hurt a large number of people in that particular county, as well as discriminate against a very particular set of individuals in a county. I appreciate you watching.